Welcome back to the Greenville Chamber's Growing a Greater Greenville podcast. I'm your host, Carlos Phillips, and I'm President and CEO of the Greenville Chamber. We're kicking off a new Greater Together series featuring our many community partners, and we're very excited to start this series with our longtime IT partners, Acumen IT. Today, we're sitting down with Acumen's founder, David Pence, as well as Acumen's Chief Technology Officer, Brad Matheson. Welcome, David and Brad.
Hey, Carlos. Thanks for having us today.
Yeah. Thanks for having us, Carlos.
Well, thanks to both of you all for joining us today. Before we jump into today's conversation, I want to take a minute to thank our sponsors of today's episode. I want to thank Blue Cross Blue Shield of South Carolina, First National Bank, and of course, Acumen IT is also a sponsor of our podcast series. So again, Acumen IT, thank you for your support.
No problem.
David, I've known you a bit longer than I've known Brad, but let's just take just a moment to get to know, for the audience to get to know both of you a little better. Please tell us a little bit about yourselves.
Yeah. So David Pence, born in Greenville, went to Clemson in computer engineering, founder of Acumen IT back in 1999, married with a wife and two children in the upstate.
All right. Brad, what about you?
I've been working at Acumen here for a little over 22 years. Actually worked with David at a previous job as well. And then he stepped away to start Acumen, and I shortly thereafter joined him there. But I've lived down in Greenville now since 1993. I've kind of lived all over the country previous to that, but absolutely love it here. Married, 3 kids, 2 dogs, and I absolutely love just about everything technology related. So a lot of this isn't work for me. It's just kind of having fun.
Good deal. Thanks for sharing. Now, David, you said you founded Acumen IT in 1999, right?
Yes, sir.
So paint a picture for us. What did IT look like in 1999, and how different was it back then than it is today?
Oh my gosh, you are making me smile. I have to crack a couple of rust off a couple of gears to think about that. But I believe that one of the things that I remember us having to convince business owners to do was you might want to buy a DSL connection so you can have an internet connection because it's faster than a dial-up connection. And this thing called email might be pretty good. You should try it. I promise you, you don't have to use as many stamps as you're going to like it. That's how, in 1999, that's what we were talking about.
Wow. And I still remember Prodigy.
Prodigy, yeah, and AOL, right?
Yeah, right. Right. So IT is clearly a little different today.
A little different. It's amazing how many people are on, say, an iPhone. And then, we mentioned to them that this thing's only been around for 15 or 20 years. And so, I have a 16-year-old and he can't possibly imagine what we did without a mobile device.
Good deal.
Blue Cross Blue Shield of South Carolina is a longtime partner of the Greenville Chamber and offers a wide range of health plans and options designed just for Chamber members. Companies with 51 or more employees have access to Chamber Blue, Blue Cross's exclusive portfolio of more than 40 unique health plans, with enhanced office visit copays, access to innovative apps, and more. Blue Cross is the only South Carolina health insurance carrier serving its citizens for more than 75 years. For information about our health plans for Chamber members, call the Greenville Chamber at 864-239-3723.
Hey, tell us a little bit about Acumen IT and the services that you provide.
When I started Acumen IT, the idea was I had graduated in computer engineering and I was able to be very helpful to, say, a large company or a medium company as a full-time employee. But I realized that there were small businesses and medium-sized businesses that maybe didn't have the expertise. And so I thought, what if I could actually help 10 or 20 companies in the community instead of just one? And oh, by the way, these 10 or 20, boy, did they really need the help. The company that had 17 IT people, if I was going to be the 18th IT person, okay, that's helpful. But coming in and saying, can I help you? Do you have any IT people? No. Okay, well, guess what? Let's talk about some stuff. that has been one of the most favorite adventures of my entire life, because one of my first customers I'm going to mention to you is named Grove Medical, and they had 16 people, and they're in the upstate, and they just used fax machines to do orders. And we were able to show them how to use the internet and use email and use online web systems to do orders. And, today they have lots more. I don't know how many people they have, but they have hundreds of people now versus 16. They're still our customer today. They have grown and hired their own IT department. That's great. So, we do a good job of working with small businesses that don't have any IT. And then if they grow to have their own IT, or they already have their IT, then we're great to do projects with them and stuff like that as well. So it's just fun to watch these upstate businesses grow and use technology to be more efficient.
So speaking of adventures in IT, one of the great adventures that I experience on a daily basis is opening emails from people I don't know or I'm not too familiar with, and with an attachment or a link. And I'm at the point in my IT journey right now where I trust nothing. But
That's good.
then I also fear that I'm missing out on something as well if I don't open the email. Tell me, is that a natural condition, or should I seek mental help?
No, you're doing it the right way. It's a lot of the attacks that come in today do come in via email, and the humans that are still operating these machines are kind of the most vulnerable part of the whole equation. So if they can trick somebody into clicking on something that they shouldn't, even in the form of a link or an attachment or something like that, you should be a little bit apprehensive. If all of a sudden you opened your front door and found a small white box outside that no name on it, no anything, taped up, I don't know that I would just bring that inside and open it up and see what's in it. So
yeah,
it just, you have that same security when it comes to email as well. So, but yeah, you're doing it the right way. Keep doing it like that.
But Brad, some of these emails look so real. They look like they're from someone that I may know or trust.
It's they do that a lot. That one of the tactics that they do is certain letters can be used, like a lowercase L and a capital I look almost the same in an email. So there are ways that they can register a domain name from somebody that you might do business with that's got a domain name that almost matches, or it might be off just a little bit. So instead of, it might be Greenville South Carolina.org. And so where they're trying to impersonate you, and someone might not notice that that's not the real domain. And next thing you know, that's when they end up opening something that you sent that wasn't you, but makes it look like you. So social engineering is a term for that.
Well, and you guys do a great job of testing our staff.
We do. We've got a regular cadence where we send those test emails, and we want to find out, do we have any repeat offenders that always open things that they shouldn't? They get themselves a little bit of training as a reward for doing that. But it is kind of neat, though. We do have the statistics on the percentages. Normally, it's somewhere around a 17% click rate when we first come into a company, where about 17% of the emails are going to be opened, the test emails that are potentially nefarious. And after we're done and we've been running it for a few months, it's typically around a 2 to 3% click rate. So we're able to drop that down quite a bit. People start catching them right away. Just like you were saying, you're very apprehensive to open those things, which is the right thing to do.
So in October, I understand that you're bringing a one-of-a-kind IT security event to Greenville. Tell us a little more about that.
In 2004, the U.S. government declared that October is a special month, and it is actually Cybersecurity Awareness Month. So believe it or not, 19 years ago, the government said, we need to help our business executives be aware a little bit more that email's great and internet's great, but there may be some issues. So they have made October that month. And so we try to bring awareness as well. And so we offer an event that's free in the beginning of October to help businesses just mentally go, oh yeah, I probably need to do a review. I probably need to be thinking about it. What are the latest trends in IT security and cybersecurity? We think cybersecurity is online, but there's also IT security items in your building or around your building or your premise that need to be thought of too. So we use this month to help our customers. And then this event is free to anybody to come and see. It's generally geared for business executives just to come get kind of a quick shot in the arm, if you will, of a couple hours from people across the country who do this every day to hear what's the latest and how to maybe do some basic blocking and tackling to help like lower 17% to 2 or 3% in other areas as well.
So why is the event so significant to our community's businesses?
Well, Acumen has been doing these free educational events for decades in the upstate. We didn't do it during COVID, obviously, but we've done it most of the rest of our lives since 1999, maybe a couple of years into that. And we think it's a great thing to, for instance, Brad and myself, we may go fly to a trade show or an event that's 2 or 3 nights, hotel rooms, flights, this kind of thing. We learn the tip top best things that we can learn. And then we come back to the upstate and we offer a condensed business exec summary of what we have learned. And we try to invite some of the vendors that we think are fantastic. They were speakers somewhere. Hey, would you come speak in our upstate? And now the upstate executives and IT executives, they don't have to travel and flights and stuff like that. So we have helped save the upstate millions and millions of dollars in flights and fees to attend events. And we also are saving their time. A show, maybe a 2 or 3 day show. What was the exact summary of that show? This is what we do. And this is what we're doing October 5th coming up.
All right. And Brad, why do we need to keep cybersecurity strategies up to date and to avoid risky business situations in this digital world?
Well, the security landscape is always changing. And many people really don't think about security until they've suffered from some type of cybersecurity issue. That's usually the only time that people are actually coming to us going, we need to do something about our security, is because there was just an incident. If things are running fine, and they typically don't even want to talk about it. But one of the big misconceptions right now, too, is that, moving your data, your applications, and your infrastructure to the cloud means that you don't have to worry about securing it or protecting it or anything like that. And that really couldn't be further from the truth. It's just not in your building anymore. Now it's out on the internet. And that actually introduces a whole slew of new problems, in that you're not on a controlled battlefield inside your 4 walls anymore. You have to now push your data across an unsecured network back and forth. And if you have 2 different cloud applications that are talking to each other as well as to all of your employees, having that data, you need to make sure that it's secured going across, unsecured connections. And also, you need to make sure you back everything up. Just because it's not in your building doesn't mean you don't need to back it up. That's another very big thing. So people just need to be aware of some of these things and don't want to learn the hard way when they either have a data loss or some type of an outage. So it's great for everyone to stay up to date.
All right. Thank you. Now, given our Greater Together theme, let's talk about teamwork for a moment. I understand this event is being hosted in collaboration with a few titans in the IT industry. Can you tell us a little bit about the range of topics that'll be covered by these partners?
I will tell you that Brad has the details, but I am super excited this year. This is the first year of IT security where artificial intelligence has really been integrated into IT security. And so that's a real help for what we call the white hats. The white hats are the good guys. The bad guys are the black hats. They do they're trying to break in and do the stuff like the old cowboy movies or something. And basically, we've got a couple of titans, as you mentioned, and the people that attend are going to be able to have a question and answer session with these titans. And some of them that we're bringing, they have the ability to use AI with camera systems that hasn't been able to be done by regular businesses. Maybe the CIA could do it, but a regular business couldn't do it, where the cameras are not only recording, but they can record 360. They can actually detect a person, who that person is. Maybe if they're carrying something, maybe they are upset coming into the building and they have a bat or a gun or something like that. The AI can actually detect all these things and alert the police, or do some set of rules that the humans who own the building want done. And that has not been around for a long time. It's really amazing. And then we have some other vendors who are also going to use AI and technology to figure out how to do a better version of disaster recovery, like Brad was saying, so that data can avoid being lost at all, versus it got lost, can you restore it? So the world's changing and evolving. So those are two of them that I'm really excited about. We have a third one that is really good at mitigating risk with data by analyzing data in the company and understanding the traffic flows of data, can really help maybe prevent an outage that Brad talked about.
That's some of the topics that we're going to be talking about, we're going to talk about a lot of different things, but we definitely want to talk about AI security, remote workforce security, cloud security, the social engineering side of things, as well as cybersecurity regulations. So, again, the IT landscape has really changed a lot. If you look back to even 5 years ago, the amount of people that were working remotely and the amount of applications that are in the cloud, it's a completely different picture than it is today. And COVID did help accelerate a lot of those things. But yeah, those are the main topics that we're gonna talk on, and we do get asked about AI security a lot. So there's many. I could spend all of our time today talking on just that.
So there's a lot of talk about AI, artificial intelligence, and social engineering. I was watching my favorite news show this morning and heard how Congress is now getting involved in an attempt to manage, regulate artificial intelligence. But I'm technology illiterate. So explain AI to me as if I were a third grader.
So AI is kind of taking computing to the next level, where computers have always just done what they've been told. So, you ask it for a formula, it gives you the answer. That's the way that it works. It's never had the ability to really put thought into it, or some type of string multiple things together to come to a conclusion. And that's what AI is doing, is it's able to actually continue to learn more things. And the context that it has with questions continues to grow. And it actually works very, very well on many different things. It's not there on everything. It can't do everything. So I do think that it's a good idea that we maybe do step in and put some safeguards in place before we get in too deep with AI. So we've all seen the movies that depict an apocalyptic future where the computers have taken over or something like that. We definitely don't want to go down that road. So I think it's good that we are a little bit cautious, but at the same time, AI can be a tremendous help for us.
Carlos, I'd like to add an example for the 3rd to 5th grader. Let's say I use 5th grader because maybe they can type on the internet a little bit better, just to make my example work. If you think about it, let's say that you were told you had a faucet that was leaking in your house, and it was 5 years ago. If you went to the internet 5 years ago and typed in how to fix a leaky faucet 5 years ago, you might get some articles on websites. The Google search would come back with 50 or 10,000 articles on how to fix leaky faucets. And if you clicked on it, maybe there's advertising, maybe you finally get to an article that actually says how to fix faucets in commercial area, residential, how to fix faucets, whatever, in another country. There's a lot of reading for you to do to figure it out. That's what we have lived with on the internet up until last year. Now, imagine AI. If you said to AI, hey, AI, I want you to read everything there is in the world about fixing every machine and faucet and tire in the world. I want you to read it all because you're my buddy. And then if I want to fix something, I'm going to say, hey, I'm in Greenville, South Carolina, the temperature, where the temperature's this, humidity's this, and it's my home, not a business. Can you just tell me based on this, I have this leaky faucet in my house. What would you do if you were me to fix it? And it's almost like you're talking to an advanced, person that says, oh, I'm an expert in fixing faucets. Let me tell you how to do it, especially in your house in South Carolina. That's the difference. You don't have to go do as much searching. It's done all the searching. It's done all the research. It has it in its brain, and it's ready to tell you when you ask it the question.
So we should not fear artificial intelligence, is what I'm hearing.
Well, there are good things on the internet. There are bad things on the internet, right? There are going to be good things in AI, and there are going to be not so good things in AI. It's just part of life. A deer rifle is great for, getting food for the family, but it can be used in the wrong way too. AI is a tool, just like the internet or something else.
Hey, let's go back to your October 5th event. Who's the target audience for that event? Do you have to be an IT expert, or would the average business person or small business owner benefit from attending?
We really cater to the small business and medium business owners and executives. We feel that we try to bring the message to them. A lot of times they will bring their IT person with them, which is the best possible scenario. If you are the owner or the general manager or something, and you bring your IT person with you, it's just wonderful because you get to kind of say, did you get that? I didn't get that. What did he say? Or give me another example or whatever. And it enhances the experience if both of them come. If both of them can't come, we'd love to have the business executive. And if the business executive can't make it, we'd love to have the IT executive come, because that's somewhat it's also good if it's what you can do. We have purposely made these sessions only 2 hours long so that people can work most of the day and then pop over, and it's a 3 to 5 p.m. thing on a Thursday to make it very easy. The registration's at 2:30, so we actually start at 3. It's a 90-minute session with 30 minutes of Q&A too, so people have their voices heard. They get to ask, questions. And then after the 3 to 5, if somebody's really into it and they want to stay a little bit longer, we have some drinks and stuff afterwards where the experts come off of the stage and they actually interact with the crowd. And it's been a winning combination for us. So that's how we do it.
Good. How can folks learn more and register for the event?
We've got a link. You can actually go to acumenit.com/GC for Greenville Chamber, and that'll take them directly to the link for the registration and information about the event that's coming up.
All right. Thanks, Brad.
Let's turn a trip to the branch into a tap on your phone. Let's hit pause on a lost debit card without hitting pause on life. That's how First National Bank is redefining convenience. With a top-rated mobile app that puts more security and control at your fingertips, and friendly people to help you succeed right by your side. Let's get started at fnb-online.com or your local First National Bank branch. FNB, member FDIC.
So we're starting to wrap up. The podcast. Do you plan to provide future educational events similar to your October 5th event?
Yeah, that's a great question. So we will always have an IT security update event for the business executives and IT executives in the beginning of October, Cybersecurity Awareness Month for the upstate. That's a regular thing that you will see. And so that's happening. So the answer to that is yes. And then just to let you know, in February, we're starting a brand new series. We're doing an advanced manufacturing event that is a little bit longer, and it will have AI, robotics, 3D printing, and topics like that from things that we have also learned about at Acumen, and we bring back to the community. Many of our customers are industrial related, even if it's accounting firms or law firms that have construction and manufacturers as their clients. It's generally very helpful for not only the manufacturers, distributors, warehouses, but the architect firms, the law firms, the construction firms, to come and see what is the latest in manufacturing, because manufacturing is coming back to the U.S. in a big way. But the way it's coming back is AI, robotics, and 3D printing. So it's important that we are hyper competitive in the upstate.
We're definitely going to continue to do these types of events. We definitely identified that we're going to do a security event annually going forward, where we used to have different topics that we would talk about all the time, different events, but we're going to make sure that we get at least one security event in every year, because things have changed so much in just the past 5 years. And people just need to be aware. We just try to educate people. We don't mandate that our customers do certain things. We do on some, but for the most part, we just want to educate them and let them know where they are today, where we think they should be. And, you know, if they disagree with that, that's fine. But they usually don't. They usually listen to us. And we just want to make sure that we can educate as many businesses in the area as we can, and try to keep everyone safe, secure, keep the doors open, keep people working. That's our goal here.
Well, David and Brad, I'm so glad that we had this time together today to share a laugh, sing a song, and talk all things IT. It's really been great having you join us on this episode and talking about Acumen's educational and networking event that's coming to our city. Any parting thoughts? From you before we leave today?
I just want to thank the Greenville Chamber. You guys have been tremendous for us as members. We really love it. We love this opportunity to get additional exposure to businesses who may be members of the chamber, or maybe they're not members of the chamber yet, and to have them see these events, to come to these community events and learn. I travel a lot. I'm out of the country right now today, and it is amazing when I come back to Greenville how fantastic it is. I was born in Greenville, and I just love it. And I think the Greenville Chamber is a big part of that success. So thank you so much, guys, for having us today.
Yeah, Carlos, I just want to thank you as well. Really enjoyed doing this today. Hopefully we can do another one down the road there.
Well, thank you. Thank you both. I appreciate everything that you're doing to make Greenville greater, and appreciate all that you do for the chamber. Before we go, I want to again thank our generous podcast sponsors: Blue Cross Blue Shield of South Carolina, First National Bank, and of course, and again, Acumen IT. Thanks for listening today and for joining us in our efforts to grow a greater Greenville.